Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to It's Your Life.
Hello. How
And
is your life?
where are you today, Amy?
I am actually in just south of Palm Springs, California.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's only
Sounds
7 o'clock here.
Woo.
But I've been up since 4 because I'm still on Florida time. So it's kind of been like that the whole trip.
It's probably kind of better to stay on that time frame because coming back is worse, isn't it? Is it worse
Yeah,
coming this way or going that way? Coming back home, I
I
think.
think it's harder coming that way, but that's
Yeah.
just me. So we'll see. Yeah. So we're in a beautiful community here with some friends. And we're actually going to play golf today later. So this was actually perfect to
Nice.
be able to still pop on here and see you
Yeah.
and talk to people about our next piece of the wellness wheel,
Yes.
which is
Social wellness. And boy,
mhm,
do we need to understand that more than ever now, especially this past
yeah,
year. You know,
absolutely.
we have not been able to socialize like we normally do. Um, Actually, I just had this conversation with somebody. What is today? Wednesday? On Monday, and how they're really feeling the effects of not having their social interaction that they normally have.
Mhm,
And we talked about ways to work around that. We have the social distancing. We have to wear a mask. Some states are stricter than other states. Some restaurants are stricter than some places. I mean, I've been places here in Florida and here in Fort Myers that you would never know that there was any social distancing because
mhm.
you know it's pretty laxed here, I think, but there's some places where it's still very strict and people are not allowed to gather in more than groups of 10, and it's been a
Well,
challenge this
it's still
year.
just closed. Like that's where I am. Things are just closed.
Oh,
Um,
really?
the
Oh,
golf
well, you're
just opened a couple weeks ago.
wow.
Golf courses. So I mean, in Florida, the golf courses basically never close because you're outside, and
Right.
I think they always made a mask. Had to wear a mask to go inside to pay and the pro shop, but outside you were. What did it? The one change they made is you could only have one person in the cart. That was the one change they made in Florida. But here, they just opened a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
all the
See,
restaurants and those things, most of them are still closed. I mean, it's just not open.
yeah. Yeah. So it's,
Oh,
it's different
to your
variations
point.
throughout the country and throughout the world. But
But to
again,
your
our
point,
social,
right? I mean,
our,
we experienced just a short time in Florida
mm-hmm,
of not being able to go out and do the normal things, and then we adapted to how to go out and do the normal things as they
mm-hmm,
opened up. Here, people haven't been able to go out and do any of those things for months. So can you imagine that feeling? I mean, I know what I felt just
mm-hmm,
a little bit.
mm-hmm.
And we try to adapt things to have people come over outside and sit around the fire pit and be out in the lanai because we can. We were in Florida and we were able to do that, which most people, I guess, could because of the summertime. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a huge piece for a lot of people that feel very isolated and very
Yeah.
alone.
Right. So the friends that you're with out there, so what are some things that they've been doing since they're still very restricted?
Well, I mean, they live where they can get outside. So I mean, they've done things around just the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
getting outside, and I think socializing with neighbors just like on the lanai and that in a small community. But other than that, not a whole lot. You know, they have
Wow.
each other and they have their dog, so not too much. But they
Yeah.
were traveling too. They were driving for part of it. So I mean, it's like
Okay.
in a different situation than most people are.
Right.
Um, so the freedom to be able to drive across country from where they sold their home, that did make a difference,
Yeah.
that they could have that freedom. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, but being isolated for a long time can weigh you down over time. And, if you're kind of locked into, I know we all love our families, but sometimes, you know, too much togetherness can start to aggravate people. And yeah, I've seen it with some people that I know, and it's like, okay, you know what? Even in your home, practice some social distancing just for your mental health. Maybe, take some time to yourself. You don't have to be around everybody 24/7. Keep the home environment a healthy environment and keep lines of communication open. And if somebody's getting irritated with somebody, take some time and space out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think
so,
it became very obvious though through this whole last few months that the need that we have to be social. And I think, some people can be by themselves more than others. Some it's just their
Mhm.
nature. They enjoy time by themselves.
Mhm.
And others, it's really not healthy for them because they really need that interaction. And
Yes.
so finding good connections and good support system, I think, is what we all need.
Yes.
Um, people. I've got a quote that goes along that
Oh, yeah.
because I think this became more obvious through this time. Is I don't even know who said this because it doesn't say who it is, so I can't give credit to anyone. But it says, "Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher."
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
talking about your, being too much time with your friends. Well, even if you have too much time with family or friends that are not going to lift you up and support you and
Mhm.
encourage you, how it
Mhm.
wears on you, right? And that affects all of your wellness. So, how,
Mhm.
this is a good one for you and I, Kelly, setting healthy boundaries and like saying no to certain people that
Yeah.
are not bringing you up and maybe always discouraging you or judging you or whatever it is that you feel
Right.
getting for certain people, then you just limit your time with them if you can,
Right.
right? And you surround
Yeah.
yourself with people that build you up.
Yes. Absolutely. Put COVID aside and this whole, thing we've had to go through this year. Think back to normal scenarios and, yeah, think of the people that are not building you up or the people that are constantly negative or the people that are constantly weighing you down or critical, whether they're self-critical or they're critical to you or others. That, yeah, who can be around that a long time? That'll wear you down, so you can choose not to be around that, or I mean, I'm not saying diss your friends, but you can limit your time. You can set boundaries for that, whether it's friends or family or coworkers even. You don't have to, say you're in a work environment and there's somebody there that's always, complaining and always negative or complaining about other employees and, well, I would probably just speak up and say, do you really have to be so negative and critical all the time? Because it's wearing the rest of us down.
But that's also setting boundary. I think that, there's a time where it is good to speak up and maybe they're not even aware of what they're doing.
Right,
Um, and also
right.
maybe like what we always focus on when we're working with people is, what is going well? What can you focus on something good out of that? So we're not always focusing on the bad. Even through this whole time, it's like, okay, a lot of people have to be isolated. What could you do with this time?
Mhm.
What's something good you create of this? We have a lot of expressions in the English language of, making lemonade out of lemons. It's
Mhm.
like, how can you make it better within your control? And there's
Yeah.
always something we can do.
Yes,
And
always.
we've often said, healing is an inside job. When there's something wrong, you've got to start looking inside. It's not up to
Mhm.
everybody else
Mhm.
around you to fix it. It's up
Right.
to you to go, okay, what can I do differently? How can I, well, we always say that reframe our thinking. How can we think about this? Look at a different perspective? Because
Mhm.
sometimes we're like this and we only see
Mhm.
it one way. And then when we go, oh, there's other ways to look at this, all of a sudden it looks different.
Yes.
Um, so, social definitely fits into that. How can we look at our social environment and people that we're connected with differently and maybe find something good in them, even
Right.
though all we've always hear from them is negative. How can we help them shift that?
Right.
And
Right. And we're all creatures of habit.
yeah,
And, we may get into these patterns of being around the same people all the time or doing the same activities all the time, where maybe, a year or two ago, 5 years ago, whatever, a month ago, that was fun and exciting and enjoyable for you. But then you get to a point where it's like, oh, I have to go, I have to go do this with that person, or I don't have time, or, this person's really negative. I don't think I can be around them anymore. You have a choice. You
hmm
don't have to go. It's your life. You can make the decision to say no or choose to do something different.
yeah,
Don't feel obligated like you have to go do this with this person. You have to go to this social event because you got invited by a best friend. You know, if it's not something socially you want to engage in or be a part of, or don't feel obligated.
Yeah.
You have to dig deep inside and think, is this something I want to do? Is this
Hmm.
something that's going to serve me well? Is this something that's for the greater good? Is this something I really want to be a part of? And
Hmm.
if you're struggling with or you know, and or if you're struggling with a reason to just go, even though you don't want to, you know, you're battling with yourself inside, in your mind, in your gut, in your heart, whatever, wherever that battle is. You know, I mean, I know we've all been in that situation where you're struggling, like, oh, I really don't want to go, but I need to go. Can I come up with some excuse? No, that's a lie. I'm not a liar. You know, I feel bad if I'm not totally honest with them. Like, I really just be honest. If you don't want to go, you don't want to go, you know. But, you know, pick your social activities that are what you want to do, you know. But being social is a critical part of being. And it's, you know, like you said, some people, though, they like to be alone and they, you know, prefer to be alone. And that's fine and that's great. But there are people who thrive on having social activities. But choose your social activities and who you socialize with wisely, in your best interest, you know,
Yeah.
not in the best interest of everybody else. You got to think about what you want to do. But if you feel yourself having that mental battle, that mental struggle of, you know, I got to get ready to go to this, I really don't want to go. Well, if you really don't want to go, you don't have to go. You
Yeah, it's
know?
giving yourself permission, right? It's giving yourself permission to do what is really feels right for you, which I think is a struggle for particularly a lot of women because
Hmm.
maybe, over years they've been made to feel like they couldn't choose what they want to. Well, things have
Right.
changed and things
Yeah.
are changing even more. So I think we want to empower people to dig inside and really feel good about those and connect with what is most in alignment with who they really are and who they want to be.
Hmm.
Um, because it's very disempowering to feel like you don't have a choice.
Right.
But that's really in our own heads. We usually
It's
do
in
have
our
a
own
choice,
heads. You are
right?
absolutely right. Oh my
So,
God.
right?
Yes.
I mean, how many times have we had conversations where one of us will say, I should do this or I have to do this, and the other one will catch the person and say, do you have to do that? Or is that what you want to do?
Right.
Who says you should do that? It's like some of it's just old, things going on that we've heard someone else. It's usually a person younger in our years, maybe a parent we heard
Mhm.
things from. So we still have those records playing in our head until we can recognize it and break those patterns and start saying something different. So we have to catch ourselves when one of us says, "I should do this" or "I have to do this."
Mhm.
It's, what do you want to do?
Right.
Well, I really want to do this. Okay, then what's stopping you from doing that?
Right.
I don't know. What is stopping me? I just feel like I have to. Well, is that a true thing? Like, do you really have to, or is that just like you're feeling some sense of guilt or obligation? And if that's the case, how can you shift that and say, well, no, I really want to do this. Okay, then go do it. Oh,
Yes.
all right. Okay, I'll go do that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? That's that sentence you just said. I feel like I have to go. I feel like I need to go. I feel like you know, if unless you say I feel like I really want to go, you know, if you're battling that decision inside of you, really dig deep and think
Hmm.
about what the action you're getting ready to take, you know. But
Hmm.
yes, why do we instinctively have that feeling of obligation that we
Hmm.
have to do something?
Hmm.
It's something
Well,
as simple as, you know, going to a birthday party or something,
yeah.
and you know you're exhausted, you've had a long week and you really just want to stay home, and but it's one of your friends and you feel obligated, you feel like you have to go because you feel like you're going to disappoint that person,
Hmm.
or you clearly could just pick up the phone or text them. I'd pick up the phone, just call and say, hey, I'm really exhausted, I love you, I want to come to your birthday party, but I just can't.
Hmm.
You know, I have a gift for you, I'll bring it to you later. You know, what's wrong
Yeah.
with
I've been saying, how can we do both? How can we celebrate
right?
that person's birthday, but
Hmm.
maybe in a different way? So if you can't get to the party because you're just exhausted, maybe we can have lunch later on and celebrate, so that you
Right.
still do it. Sometimes that you get to do both if you just think about it. Okay, how could I
Mhm.
do both? I want to celebrate this person's birthday, but I
Mhm.
can't do it right now because I'm exhausted.
Yes.
So, you know, I think a lot of times we get to have it all. We can do all of it. We just have to think about it differently,
Mhm.
so that
We
you
have a
can do
choice.
it all.
We have a choice.
Yeah,
We have
choice.
a choice.
Yes, yeah. So what is the national day today?
Today is International Stress Awareness Day.
Well,
That's a
that's
good one.
funny. Following the election, that today is International Stress Awareness Day.
And
I think
actually,
that's still
I
more
I'm guilty. I don't watch the news just because I haven't. I just when the whole COVID thing started, I just couldn't watch it anymore. And I read blurbs on my phone and stuff that I stay informed, but I don't watch it 24/7 like some people do. And which is fine if you do. But I turned it on this morning because I want to know what's going on still with the election, and they were taught somebody one of the people said that it was International Stress Awareness Day. I'm like, oh, thank you. I need that tidbit for the show. But I'm like, stress awareness. Yeah, what an ironic day to have as a stress awareness day.
Yes. So, how can we honor Stress Awareness Day today in incorporating our social wellness? What could you do today that would relieve some stress and maybe also tune into your social wellness?
That's a good question.
I'm going to go play golf with some friends and my husband. That sounds perfect outside in the nice weather.
That's a great idea. I don't play golf, so I'm not even going to attempt. The last time I played golf, a friend of mine and I decided it was a Mother's Day and it was just windy and the weather was awful, and we decided we're going to get some golf clubs and we're going to go play golf because we deserve to take a day to go do something. And the first hole had a lake in front of the tee. It was a narrow body of water, but I played golf when I was younger with my grandmother, and I was fairly good then, but I've never played really since then. So I lost five balls on the first hole. And I literally just looked at her and said, I'll drive to the cart. I'm done.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen today. It's a pretty long, harder course for me. It's a pretty nice community out here. We're
Yeah.
really golfing, so I think this one is. I think Jack Nicklaus is the one that we're playing at here. It's designed by him, so I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. I mean, they're on the course, the 10th hole. So if I get tired, I'll just come in. We'll
There
be
you go.
going by the house. Me and my friend have already said, well, if we get tired, we're just going to come in and call it a day. We're not stressed about it. I'm just looking forward to being out and seeing the beautiful course because I think it's very well done.
And
And
the
now that
weather,
sorry,
what's the weather like there?
I want to say it's in the 60s or low 70s right now, but it's getting up into the 90s, so it'll be hot by the time we're really out there on the course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they haven't really started their real cold weather, but last night it was down in the 60s. So I mean, it's nice night. So
Well, we for the last 2 days, it's the best weather we have had yet here. It's just
nice.
absolutely beautiful.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I'm trying to look to see what the temperature. I mean, I walked the dogs this morning. I had to come back and get a jacket because it was chilly. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a Floridian. 65 to me is like, oh, burr.
Yeah. Well, they had the fire pit going at this election party last night, so I was sitting by that. That's where I was camped out for the same reason. So a lot of these people are from the Midwest that live here now, so
Mhm.
they're used to colder weather. Or they think it's this is beautiful, and it is. But it like you, I was a little chilly, so
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fire pit was a good place to camp out. But it's
yes.
dry. It's very dry, so that's
You
hard
have
for.
that dry heat there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the humidity, my skin hasn't been very happy with me, but that's okay. I'll recover.
But you're doing some social activity, which is
Yes, and we had
great.
some wonderful time in Arizona with family, so it's just been nice to get away for a short time. Um, but it is interesting to see how things are different around the country. Arizona
Mhm,
was very open, like
mhm,
Florida.
mhm.
Um, but there are some mask mandates. So a few different things. We've just been very accommodating. We're, doing whatever we're supposed to do to fit in with what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but nice to see some new things. The drive though from Scottsdale to Palm Springs was just desert. I mean, desolate.
Really?
Looking out there, it's like, it just amazes me that there's so much desert and so much area in this country that there's nobody living. There's just nothing there.
Wow.
It just baffles me because we don't live around that.
No.
It's populated where we live.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
and
Beautiful.
yeah, it's uninhabitable probably though, that area,
Well, in some ways, but Arizona's the same way, and they've created, beautiful cities there. So it's just nobody's built out that far. They could
Yeah.
do the same thing in between, but right now it's still empty. So there were actually some signs for land for sale. It's like, well, I don't know what you would do, but there's a plot of land right here. You could build a house and nobody would be around you.
Nice big sandbox.
Yes, like Little House on the Prairie. It was reminding me of that
Right.
show years
Right.
ago.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you could build a house there and you could have all the privacy in the world you wanted, but yeah, interesting.
Wow. Yeah, we don't realize how good we have it in Florida. It's just, I tell you, the last couple of days, just being out walking and beautiful sunrise, beautiful sunset, palm trees, cool, crisp air. We have beautiful, water that surrounds us and lush vegetation. We're kind of spoiled here.
We are.
Although,
I'm grateful for that, though. Very
yeah,
grateful.
have you watched the news? We possibly have a storm coming our way. Yeah, there's a hurricane that's down further south and it's taking a direct turn and coming straight to South Florida.
Oh, so the one that was just in Nicaragua is coming towards us? Oh, wow. No, I hadn't seen that yet. We were all into the election yesterday. I haven't watched that. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on a little blurb of news. I'm like, what? Wait, hurricane season is technically over, I think November 6th or something like that.
The 30th. It's over. We still have to the end of the month.
November 30th?
But we never get them that late. That would be really
Never get them this late. But it's going to fizzle out. It'll be just probably a tropical storm, maybe a category 1. I don't think it's going to strengthen that much. But
So are we arriving during that? Is it when we're flying in?
Yeah, it's Sunday night, Monday morning. When do you come back?
We'll
no, you'll be back already. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be nice to come back to.
So my social interaction for today is going to be going to Home Depot just in the event it does strengthen to a stronger category hurricane. I need to get some gas cans. I have my generator and get some extra water and just to be prepared.
You are so prepared. I'm going to come to your house because we won't do anything at ours.
My refrigerator's already stocked. I made some stuff this week and have lots of frozen dinners
I'm
ready.
definitely coming to your house because we won't be doing anything at mine. It never does anything. Yes. Too funny.
Hi, honey. Okay, we're live, but my son just walked in.
That's all right.
I don't remember ever getting out of high school at 10:30 in the morning. Do you?
I don't know. He's got a good life.
I know. Right? He's a good student, so
yeah,
they let him out on good behavior, I guess.
Well, it's nice to pop on here and see you, even though it's only been a few days, because we talk so much every day. It's nice just to see you live.
Well, and yeah, it's good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, though, and take the time and relax and enjoy your social interaction with your friends out there and your golf today.
Yes. And I know you made a nice post there. I hope people will tell us what they're going to do because, what social wellness are you going to focus on today or this week?
Yeah. It's important. If you're really under, strict isolation or, confinement, whatever, your state is stricter than others, come up, try to be creative and, connect with your friends and do a Zoom call together or, create some activity you can do in your neighborhood where everybody's keeping social distancing, but just, think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And to keep that social interaction going, because it is very important.
Yeah. And it could make a difference too, if you're feeling stuck where you are, to get out and do that.
Pick up the phone and call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Don't call them, FaceTime them, surprise them, just FaceTime them, make them
Yeah.
answer you.
Yeah, don't text them, FaceTime them so they can see your
Yes,
face.
FaceTime them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's
Yeah.
another, actually, I'm just going to share this real quick. I did not know about this app. My son told me about it. It's called Marco Polo.
Yes, that's a great one.
Have you ever used that? So you can do your
Yeah.
video message and it's not live, but then they'll get it. So if you can't coordinate times to actually do FaceTime together, Marco Polo is a good app. You can go on and leave your video message and communicate that
Yeah.
way. So it's nice to see a live person instead of reading text messages all day.
Well, yeah, and then they can do the same thing. I have a connection with my family that lives in Sweden, so we're all on the same thing. So if one of us videos, then everybody sees it, and then they can respond with just emojis, or they can video back and say something. So it's like almost a conversation. It's just delayed.
Right.
You can respond to it after the fact, which some people like that, so that it's not right like this where we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm liking it. It's kind of cool. He's a personal trainer, and I finally decided I need a personal trainer. So I filled out his questionnaire on his Chase_Henderfoot thing on Instagram, and I didn't tell him I was doing it. And he calls me and he said, "Mom, what are you doing?" I said, "I need a personal trainer." And you're a personal trainer. He goes, I said, "I want to hire you as my personal trainer." He goes, "No, you're not paying me. You keep me alive." I said, "Okay, well, fine. I won't pay you, but I need a trainer." So he started me on his program November 1st, and he's making me accountable.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. So we use the Marco Polo app to communicate back and forth, and he's got me I have to log in my food every meal I eat, how much water I drink. He gave me a whole exercise program set up for the week, geared towards what I want to accomplish. I'm excited. So
that's awesome.
Got to create the new habit. That's the biggest challenge first.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm proud of you for reaching out and like saying, what do I really need? Like, you've been trying a few things and they work a little bit, but now you recognize what I really need is to have somebody hold me accountable. And
yes,
he's a great trainer.
Yes. So
I love
I knew that that's what I needed. And I couldn't just call him and say, "Hey, can you help me?" I'm like, I'm just going to go through his program, and then I am a client of his. I said, "Don't think of me as mom, think of me as a new customer." So, and make me stick to it.
That's awesome.
Anyway, I'm excited. I've been so far 3 days in a row doing it.
All right. Yeah. Good for you.
All right, guys. Well, hey, enjoy your golf game, and everybody out there, keep up with your social interaction. It's very important. And if you can't physically be with your friends or family, think of creative ways to connect and still keep that social interaction going, because it's important.
It's a very important part of our wellness. And I think it's overlooked a lot of times, because we have that mentality of we can do it ourselves. We can manage here. And no, you need that connection. So surround yourself with people that will lift you higher.
Yes.
And like I always says, you have a choice.
Yes, you have a choice.
Yeah, choose wisely. All right. Well, we're going to say bye for now. And I will see you soon, Kelly.
Okay. Safe travels and enjoy your golf game today. And I'll see you when you get back.
All right. And have a wonderful day, guys. Remember,
it's your life.
Bye.
Bye.